Hi and welcome to Loopy Mabel's Closet, and my name is Jane, and in today's video it is a vlog on a series I'm going to be doing in relation to Maven Patterns. I'm working in a sort of collaboration with this indie pattern company, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all of the Maven patterns. I think she's currently got 9 patterns out, 8 or 9, and I'm going to be covering all the patterns, and I'm going to do like a series, one every month, just to give you a little bit of detail, my thoughts, review of the pattern, a little bit of insight into each pattern, and obviously some pictures of me wearing it, and just to give you an idea if that's the type of thing for you. So if you fancy seeing what I have done with this first pattern, the Wendy Smock top, which is what I'm wearing and what Mabel is wearing, then please stay tuned. Welcome back, and as I said, I am going to be doing in this vlog all about the Wendy Smock top. Now, if you have seen my previous videos, I've worn this before, and I covered it briefly in one of my make vlogs. It was this pattern and the Maria apron that I originally got from Maven Patterns. I absolutely loved them both, and I'll be covering the Maria apron, as I say, in the next vlog. I just love the fact that you can select, they're all PDF patterns that I've got, by the way, and I just love the fact that you can select your size and just print off that size. You don't have to print off the whole pattern and then find your symbol and cut it out and what have you. This one, the way they have theirs is the tiled, so you just select which size you are and you just print off your size. So I just love that straight away. Another thing I like about Maven Patterns is I think their instructions are absolutely crystal clear, brilliant, spot on. They've got the diagrams and obviously the written instructions, and also she does tutorials, online tutorials. So I'll just get the pattern out of my pattern trace envelopes, which I absolutely love. Don't forget, you can still get them over on Pattern Trace. Use Loopy Mabel 10 and you get 10% off. That's ongoing, that discount code. So there is the Wendy Smock top. That's the pattern. And the beauty also about these patterns, you can just print off what you need. You don't have to print, it doesn't print off, churn off 30, 40, whatever pages of instructions. You can select what you want to print off too, which is another good thing. As I say, she has brilliant instructions, but then she has tutorials online, and the tutorials are always in the blue. So she's got the patch pocket tutorial, so you just, obviously if you've got to have this on your computer, click on that link and it'll take you to how to do the patch pocket, the tutorial, for when you come to put the patch pocket on if you weren't sure. So I love that little bit of detail as well, because if you're fairly new to sewing and sometimes it's overwhelming, those little hints and tips I think go a great long way to help you getting your confidence in sewing. So I also like that, and just love the patterns. It was me that approached Maven Patterns, and just purely because I just love the patterns. They're just right up my street, and I just wanted to ask Sharon, the owner, Mrs. M, that she's also known as, would she mind if I did a series of vlogs on them, and she was absolutely delighted. And she also has gifted me 2 lots of fabrics, because she also sells fabrics on her site. And I thought, well, if I used your fabric and your pattern to recreate a garment, and then you can see some of her obviously fabrics as well as the pattern. So here we are with the Wendy Smock top, and this is a gorgeous peach skin that she sent me in this lovely orange and off-white pattern detail. Orange is not a colour that I would normally go for, and I'll put some pictures in of me wearing it, and I'm wearing it over this skinny rib polo jumper, and I absolutely love it. It's so bright and cheerful, and I'm definitely converted to orange and orange colours. It's a peachkin, so it's like got a beautiful drape, and it's like it is a little bit sheer. You can maybe see my hand through that. It doesn't crease, so when I was trying to press the hems and the pockets, I had to be careful because it doesn't really want to iron or press, and I had to be careful with my iron that I didn't burn the fabric, because I had to keep my iron down on it to like press for the patch pockets. So it's not going to crease, so it's absolutely brilliant, obviously, to wear. And again, I chose the same neckline as the one I'm wearing. This fabric is I think it's a viscose twill that I got from Jay at the Fabric Edit over on Instagram, and I've had so many compliments with this fabric and this pattern, so I knew I was going to recreate it again. I just love the effect on this one, so I went for the same neckline because I really like the detail of the neckline on the side. But the pattern has 3 versions of neckline, so I'll just show you what you can choose. So you can go for the plain neckline where there's no tie detail at all, which is version C, which I was tempted to go for with this one, but I thought no, I'll do the same one again. And then you've got version A where you've got the tie detail, but it's in the middle. Now the reason why I didn't go for version A is because that's very similar to what I've already done on the Roscoe blouse, with the tie at the front, so I didn't really want to create the same look, even though it's a lovely look. And again, there's option B, which is this one on the mannequin and the one I'm wearing with the tie at the side, because I just thought it was a different way of having a tie. I just thought it was quite nice, offset on the shoulder seam. So you've got those 3 options, and obviously you don't have to have it with the pockets on, but obviously everybody likes a pocket. The pockets I have attached again. The only thing I didn't do, the pattern instructs you to have a little bit of a gather on the bottom of the pocket, but I just could not get mine to sit neat enough for me. And again, I didn't do it on this one either, so I just left the pockets flat, and I quite like the flat pocket detail here at the bottom. And I love the way that the pockets are on an angle too. So that's what I went for. And again, as I say, really simple make. If you're wanting a nice make, it doesn't take an awful lot of fabric. I think you can get it out of less than 2 meters of fabric. Obviously, because I've got my pattern already printed off and cut out from when I made this one, it didn't take as long. But I think I got mine made in just under 3 hours from start to finish, on and off. So that was quite a nice, relaxing sewing make. So if you fancy something that's not too technical, I would definitely recommend this pattern. And I'll just turn the mannequin Mabel round, and it's got obviously the gathering along the top, and you cut like a bias binding and you stitch it, and then obviously flip it over and then stitch in the ditch to finish it off. And I didn't do any modifications on this pattern at all. I just left it as it is. The only thing I didn't do was the gathering detail on the bottom of the pockets. For the cuffs, when I did this one, the pattern asked for obviously the length of elastic, and I just thought it was too long, so I made mine smaller. So I wish I hadn't now, because it is quite snug on the arm. There's not a lot of it's fine, it doesn't dig in or anything. It's just that, you know, it can tend to rise up and then not go back down again, because there's not that much movement. But I only had, the pattern asked for 1 centimetre wide elastic. Now I've got elastic, but I've got lots of elastic, but I haven't got 1 centimetre wide. So when I did this one, I just used this width elastic. It's not a centimetre, it looks like it's quarter of an inch wide. And it's just a little bit on the thin side for me. So obviously I didn't have 1 centimetre to do this one, so I went for this one, because I've got a lot of elastic from my haberdashery shop days. And this is 16 millimetres wide. So I put this one into this one, and I just think it gives a much nicer gathered effect, because it sits lovely in the casing that you make. Whereas This thinner one I used, which obviously it's thinner than what recommended, it tends to twist and not as pretty as neat as the cuff on there. And it was just a simple pattern really. You start off and you stitch the shoulder seams together. You stitch the sleeves to the front and the sleeves to the back. And if you're doing this variation, which I did, when you come to do the left hand side, you start at the notch indicated on the pattern and you stitch to there, and then you fold that over and top stitch for that bit, and then literally sew the back to the front, the sides together. Then you make your bias binding, you gather the neck in sections, and she gives you full instructions on when you come to do the neck section how much each gather should measure, which is really good. So you know when you're doing the shoulders, the gather between the two shoulder points should be 15 centimetres, and then for the back another length, and for the front another length, which is really good. So you pull your gather in threads to the measurements that she says, and you know you've got it right and you've got the gathers equal. So I like that detail too. And then you just stitch it over, turn it over, and finish off the ties. And then obviously you put the pockets on and the hem. So this is one of the reasons why this is one of my favourite patterns to make. So if you've never heard of Maven Patterns, then hopefully I'm going to enlighten you in this series. And the Wendy Smock top is such a lovely design. I fancy having a go at the plain neck, make it again, maybe have a go in maybe some linen for like that smock look. Just show you version C, the plain neck details. So I fancy having a go at that. But if you know, when you've got a sewing pattern, you just think, well, I think I'll make myself something this afternoon, but I don't want anything to take too long. Well, this is going to be one of those patterns that, you know, I've got 2 meters of fabric on my shelf. Oh, what shall I make? This is a perfect thing to try out. So that is the Wendy Smock top. I hope I've inspired you to maybe have a go at making it. I do like this fabric. I really do like this effect. I'm just looking at the screen now. I just love the effect. I think it's really pretty. So for sizing, I think it's spot on. I did a size medium, and I'm 12 to 14, and it fits lovely, perfect, no issues there. Loads of room in the sleeve area, because I do find I have a little bit chunky arms. No problem there at all. Perfect sizing. So hopefully this vlog is basically just giving you a little bit more insight into the Wendy Smock top. You may have seen the pattern, or you may have seen the line drawings, but you're not quite sure what it looks like made up or what it looks like on somebody. Hopefully this series I'm just going to enlighten you into each of the patterns and help you make your decision whether it's something for you or not. And that's really what I hope to do, because I love these patterns. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me that lovely thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed and you like my sewing and creations, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. A quick update as well before I go on my new sewing room. You know, I was saying in my sewing room vlog tour that I needed the 5th leg because my sewing desk was a little bit saggy, because it needed that extra support. I went to IKEA the very next day. Mum came with me, drove all the way to IKEA, 40 minutes away, straight into IKEA, got the 5th leg, and brilliant. I stitched on my desk yesterday. In fact, I made this on the desk, and I thought, let's just try this out. It's not so much the sewing machine I was worried about, it's the overlocker, because the overlocker is a bit like a tractor when it gets going, and I was worried in case the whole desk might bounce about a bit with it being so long, but not a thing moved. It was absolutely brilliant. So I'm really glad I went back and got that leg. But yeah, so that is the Wendy Smock top. And as I say, I'm going to be doing a full series on all of the Maven patterns. So hopefully you'll enjoy that too. But as I always say, thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and as always, happy sewing.